Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Super Truck Series here on Green White Checker TV. Very excited to bring you the fourth race of the season here on Sunday nights with the trucks. Should be an absolute blast. We've had three different winners so far this season. We'll see if anybody can repeat for the first time or if we're going to have another fourth and new winner for tonight. Alongside me, we're going to have Matt Wagner in the booth with me. How are you doing tonight, Matt? You ready for this one?
I'm glad for a break. I'm glad I'm not racing, but these guys out here can. I know it's all fun and dandy to me, but let these guys have fun for a change. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, these guys are definitely very experienced at Super Speedway racing. Got a couple new faces in here and a couple old guys around that have been around for quite a while that are hanging out. And racing tonight should be a great show. We've got 75 laps on the schedule at Talladega Superspeedway here, and definitely one of the more opportunity or most opportunist racetracks you can race at as far as plate racing, with lots of lines and space to do quite a bit with. And it'll be interesting to see how these drivers take to the different strategies tonight and see where everybody ends up. Qualifying has just completed, so we'll go through that grid order for you in just a moment. Matt, before we do that, any keys tonight to tonight's race that you're looking for as we kick this one off?
Oh boy, my keys: survive.
Hey,
Uh,
sometimes it's all it takes.
yes, sir. Just put yourself in position at the end. That's what I've learned throughout super speedway racing. And number two, it's probably the most important thing that I have personally done a lot of times. You have to execute on pit road. If you don't execute on pit road, you're not going to set yourself up for a win. That's 100% my rule of thumb now.
All right, well, we'll see how those drivers can manage that throughout the race and try and be there at the end of this one. As far as your qualifying order, you'll see on the screen there, Gabe Butler taking over the top spot for Team Bootnaka Esports in that number 88 Guinness machine. To his outside is Kevin Freese, his teammate in the number 25 Chevrolet. Charles Johnson is going to find himself in the inside of row number 2 with Rick Sanchez to his outside in that 510 Ford F-150. Eric Laurie will round out the top 5 in the starting order tonight with Giovanni Occhipinti to his outside of row number 3. Jack Walls in the number 83 machine finds himself inside row number 4 with Austin Call for Ambush Racing to his outside. Ambrose Kniebel of Blind Squirrel Racing in the 04 machine on the inside of row number 5 with Corey Buskirk also for Blind Squirrel Racing, rounding out the top 10 of our starting positions for tonight. Zachary Perry and Jeremy Osborne are going to occupy the 6th row in the starting grid. 13th will be Carl Lingle from Pennsylvania. He is in the number 30 machine with William Bogart to his outside for 1776 Motorsports. Nathan Warner and Nick Wing on row number 8 with Frank Ranger Jr. and Jacob Lee being the last two drivers to qualify with a time. The rest of the field settled by iRating. That would put Ryan Decker ahead of Jim Brooks on row number 10 with Bud Steele, Bob Fitzgerald, and Dean Wilkinson rounding out the field for tonight. And it looks like we are rolling down the backstretch and just about ready to start this one off, Matt.
I am flat out ready to go. Hopefully, we can have a good one here. I wish I was out there, but like I said, I needed a break. Let these guys show off their stuff here.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to get a break and take a pause from the chaos and the action.
Yep.
And we'll see. We've had a lot of races at Talladega that have gone pretty smoothly, and we've had a lot of races with a lot of chaos in the past, so you never quite know what you're going to get with this style of racing.
Yep, 100%. By the way, that pace truck is about to pull off here.
That it is, and they are going to take the long way around this tri-oval. Definitely a very patient track for starts and restarts. You got to make your way all the way through the tri-oval to get to the start-finish line on the short chute between turns, or between the tri-oval and turn 1, as these drivers are up on the gas pedal, ready to go, taking the green flag for lap number 1. Gabe Butler in the inside row in that number 88 machine, and Kevin Freese in the number 25 machine in the outside row are going to lead you through our first lap.
Right away, you see Gabe Butler move into the high side with his teammate there of Kevin Freese, and it looks like the 510 probably intentionally sliding back using that third lane. Probably a little bit of strategy going on there, Boomer.
Yeah, just like looks like he wanted to just try and get out. Obviously had a really great qualifying position, but knew he may not be able to get up to the front. Obviously, you can get a bonus point for leading a lap, which is what I think these guys are all trying to do here at the beginning, but just elected to stay in the back and keep that car clean and try to do what he can, as it looks like Gabe Butler is going to lead that first lap, so bonus point and another bonus point for pole setting. So first, technically the only driver with points on the night so far is Gabe Butler with 2, and the rest of the field has 0.
Remember, Boomer? Survival.
Absolutely. Gabe's going to jump back down to the bottom in front of his other teammate for Team Bootnaka Esports. Eric Laurie in that 071 machine, that John Deere machine, is going to pick up that 88. The 25 of Kevin Freese in the middle lane now being pushed by Charles Johnson in the number 9 machine. We had a couple guys trying to work that outside lane, but they're going to just tuck back into the second lane for now and just ride around for a little bit.
Yeah, momentarily we were 3 wide, just cars just trying to get up in position. But they quickly settled down. Probably just feeling each other out right now.
Yeah, that was Nick Wing in the number 28 machine with Ryan Decker in the 48, trying to make something happen there, but just tucking in line. And looks like Austin Call's going to jump up to that outside lane, as now there's more cars working in that high lane. Definitely helps when you've got more cars lined up nose to tail with more energy to try and push forward. We'll see if that momentum will be enough to get Kevin Freese ahead towards the lead here or not, as the bottom lane starting to surge through turns 4, and the 88 machine's actually going to come back up and jump in front of Kevin Freese.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they were going to hang Kevin out the drive, but quickly Gabe Butler moves in front of Kevin Freese. Well, nope, Charles Johnson decides to check in right behind Kevin Freese, and it looks like you almost forward a 3 wide situation. Oh, that was really close between the 28 and the 000 there. Woo!
A little bit of moving around, but it seems like they're still pretty quiet there. Just really just 2 lanes kind of working throughout most of the field. A couple of guys now trying to get that third lane started a little further back, but for the most part, now we can see the 88 machine of Gabe Butler is going to jump into that lead spot once again, ahead of the 25 machine. So he's got 2 teammates now lined up behind him, followed by Jack Walls in that inside lane. Definitely a team that has shown a lot of strength in their teamwork in the past, Matt, and we'll see.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard once they get control of these races to get up there and challenge them.
Yeah, these guys are tough to beat, and that's like on my bucket list to beat one of these guys, these races, and then I can actually retire. These guys are just that good. It's tough, and I commend the guys who actually put up a fight and beat them. They're that good.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a couple other guys. Brandon Briggs grabbing the first win of the season. Jack Walls there sitting in 4th. He grabbed the second win of the season. It wasn't until last week when Kevin Freese grabbed one that this team was able to get to victory lane on Sunday nights. So definitely they are beatable, and have to see who will be able to emerge to try and get there first and get around them.
Yeah, I was the one who gave Brandon a nice little push. I love you too there, Brandon. By the way, that top side is looking to gain a little bit momentum there.
Yeah, even with the third car, now the second car line, a good push down the back straightaway. Charles Johnson getting a great push from Giovanni Occhipinti there in that 000 silver chrome machine. He's going to bring Ryan Decker along with them, and the three of them have made pretty good progress here, as they're now just about even with the 88. A little bit of separation there between Occhipinti and Charles Johnson there. Lost a little bit of ground. Got Muff Duff chiming in. Yes, we do maybe need a new owner. If you're referring to the CEO being Guy Brooks, then yes, he's feeling a little bit under the weather. That's why that's why I'm standing in for him tonight. But yeah, I wish definitely would hope he would let everybody know about Green White Checker TV and when there's a broadcast.
Yeah, he's a little upset Kyle Larson wrecked, so that's why he's not here tonight.
Yeah,
it's all good.
You're welcome to spread that rumor.
I did.
Matt, he's asking here, who's the favorite tonight? Who are you thinking is? Who do you got your eye on for this evening?
That is a very good question. Let me just draw a name out of a hat here, pretty much. You know what? Is he in the field tonight? I haven't mentioned his name at all. Let's go with the 55 of Dean Wilkinson, that sleeper all the way in the back.
All right.
How about that?
Going to keep his nose clean. He's got a teammate back there of Rick Sanchez. Got a teammate actually up front there, Charles Johnson, kind of leading the way in that outside lane. But all right, that's a good pick. Dean Wilkinson, definitely a solid pick.
What about you there?
I know, I'm trying to think.
Captain?
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
You can't, how about this? You can't pick Gabe Butler or Kevin Freese. How about that?
Honestly, I was actually going to think about maybe sticking with Eric Laurie there.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna pick Eric Laurie there since we're put on the spot. I was gonna say he's one of the guys obviously you see up front quite a lot. Obviously tucked in behind his teammates there, but if he can get ahead of those teammates, we know that team is known for pushing whoever is in front. So Eric could have a couple good pit stops here, some good strategy. Obviously, it's early on, but I'll be picking that 071 machine, and it's not just because I love that paint scheme.
Of course you would.
We got a new challenger at the front, though. Charles Johnson, he's going to go from the middle lane to the inside lane, taking over the point there. And looks like Giovanni's just going to take to the high side there and find his way towards the back and get out a little bit of the chaos there. As it's going to put Ryan Decker at the top spot of the outside lane. He's got the 83 of Jack Wallace pushing him and the 28 now of Nick Wing as well. As that outside lane definitely lost, or the middle lane definitely lost a little bit of momentum there with that shift, but Bud Steele is going to try and make that third lane happen towards the back of the pack. Looks like he's got, looks like that's Jacob Lee with him as well. They're going to try and see what they can do on that outside lane.
Yeah, he's actually, we haven't really talked much, but yeah, he's actually in real life driver. He did tell me what I have to double confirm that with him. I know he races short tracks, but he's here, and I'm glad to have him here on the Area 51.
Absolutely, it's always cool to see some of our drivers when they do stuff in the real world as well, and definitely a lot of those skills can pay off, both in the virtual world and in the real world. I mean, we know.
He's
a lot of NASCAR drivers that have made their way from starting in iRacing, and it's really cool to see when you can kind of mix the two, see someone who can do a little bit of both there, Matt.
Yeah, it's very difficult for that transition. Some drivers, are just magic. They just come on the sim and just make you look like you're standing still. Just like, Max Verstappen, the guy who wins every Formula One race.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with the car from that series, but definitely a lot of skill behind the wheel there for that number one car.
He's got a lot of skill. No offense.
Get a fan chiming in for the number 10 machine of William Jason Bogart.
Speaking of Jason, that was really close between Nicholas Wing and Bud Steele there. I get antsy when I get three wide.
Yeah, they a little bit of an onboard view here for William Jason Bogart for the number 10 fans hanging out at home as they see all that 3 wide action up ahead. This number 10 machine is doing what he can to just kind of avoid the chaos as they settle back into 2 wide up ahead of them. As we're working on lap number 12, it'll be 13 by the time they cross the start-finish line. Starting to get Go ahead, Matt.
I was wondering why my trading pants. You said that awesome paint schemes. Like, what is going on here? My paint schemes are not loading. But anyway, as you were saying,
at least they're loaded for the broadcast. So I guess that's a
there
good thing,
it is. There it is.
Yeah, settled in a little bit too wide action here now. The number 9 machine of Charles Johnson still controlling that inside lane. Gabe Butler pushing behind, followed by Kevin Freese and Eric Laurie. The 48 machine of Ryan Decker with help from the 83 of Jack Walls and Bud Steele is lined up. They are lined up on the outside lane. Getting to within about 10 laps here of our first pit stops, so it'll be interesting to see how these drivers settle out. Definitely have to be, well, you don't have to, but you typically would prefer to be in the inside lane before you make that pit stop, and we'll see. We've seen a lot of chaos as drivers come down pit road. You can obviously maximize your position trying to get onto pit road as fast as you possibly can, but you have to be careful and make sure that you don't speed on pit road, or you don't miss the commitment cone and get off and onto pit road without sliding your tires. So it's definitely a bit of an art form to make a green flag pit stop.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. Just lots of practice. Lots of practice. Speaking of practice, I think that 510 is trying to look and make a move here because he's made his way all the way back up to the front.
Yeah, that 510 machine of Rick Sanchez, he's the last car in the outside lane at the moment, but remember, he dropped back pretty much on lap 1 there, all the way to the back of the pack, and he's starting to find his way back up as the 48 machine of Ryan Decker is doing the same. He's jumping back to the back now.
I really don't understand that play there.
Yeah, look, 88 shot up to the outside lane there. I'm not sure where that move came from, but Gabe Butler trying to get up to the front, maybe trying to retake charge of this lead pack here.
Yeah, yeah. Probably just didn't feel like pushing an I-car anymore.
The 9 still led that lap that time by.
I guarantee you Kevin Freese goes right. How did I know that?
Here he goes to the outside.
Yep.
And they're going to try and take back control of this race. So Kevin Freese is going to be... Looks like they're both cleared down to the inside lane, the 25 and the 88 machines. Those Chevrolet Silverados. Bit of a battle of the beer wagons that you see at the front there.
It's making me thirsty.
Beer sponsors for that team. We got who was it in the? Yeah, William Jason Bogart also has a Busch Light scheme tonight, so plenty of beer wagons out there tonight. So Kevin Freese, I believe that's his first lap led that last time by, so that'll be a bonus point for him in the championship standings. After the win he had last week, trying to capitalize and be the first repeat winner on the season. Gabe Butler still looking for his first. Charles Johnson still looking for his first. Currently 1, 2, 3 on track. What you got, Matt?
Pit stops. We are approaching pit stops here. They left the 21 out to dry. 21 is trying to find a lane to get to the bottom of the track. Because you all know it's very dangerous trying to pit from the top lane, and I really don't recommend it.
It does not work very well too often, unless the car inside of you is also going to pit road. As the 21 finds a hole, he's going to
Yeah,
get down in line there.
finally. He lost about like 6-7 spots just by doing that. It's terrible.
Yeah, so that leaves Ryan Decker, Jim Brooks, and the 55 of Dean Wilkinson there in that high lane. They're going to have to find a spot to come down unless they're hoping to stay out one more lap than everybody else. We are pretty much single file throughout the entire field here and pretty much just waiting for green flag stops to happen at this point.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what, 2021, maybe, possibly. I forget my field numbers. Oh, so terrible.
Before we pit, we'll run through that top 10. Right now, you've got Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Charles Johnson, who spent most of their time in the top 3 so far tonight. Eric Laurie, Jack Walls rounding up the top 5 with Bud Steele, Ambrose Kniebel, Corey Buskirk, Rick Sanchez, and Zachary Perry lined up nose to tail in the inside lane. That'll be your top 10 as we head into green flag pit stops in the next few laps here. Whole field, single file now. And here come our leaders.
Yep, here they come.
Got to get down to pit road speeds.
Ooh. Looks like no issues. But we have 2 cars that did stay out. Jack Walls and Bud Steele.
Yeah, they're going to be by themselves. Jack Walls and Bud Steele. And then we've also got William Jason Bogart here by himself. And Jim Brooks as well. These guys, Jack Walls and Bud Steele, probably going to fare okay because they are still lined up pretty well nose to tail. Going to try and squeeze one more lap of fuel out of those machines.
It could pay off, but if they'll probably have to have an excellent stop here to probably keep up. It's going to be it's going to be a loss of time here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But my pick for the evening, Eric Laurie, he actually came off first out of pit road. That cycle there had a really great stop from his team, 11.55 seconds. One of the fastest on pit road that time by. He's going to get out ahead of everybody else, followed by teammate Kevin Freese's. Oh, looks like we've got a crash in the back potentially.
Oh, do we?
Frank Ranger Jr. said he crashed, may have come to a stop on pit road. Not entirely sure what this was. Oh, he got loose coming out of pit road. And lost control, unfortunately. So that's going to be a big moment for Frank Ranger Jr. As we jump back live to our leaders here. Now you'll see Bud Steele and Jack Walls are coming off of pit road. The field just lurking there in the distance. They should be able to grab a hold of that lead pack, but you'll see they'll be coming by at a much higher rate of speed here. As we see Bud Steele doing about 160. Charles Johnson is going to pass him at 187 miles an hour. So we'll see here.
This field has really strung out.
Yeah. Looks like the 6 and the 83 are going to be able to regain at about 6th and 7th place.
Whoa! Hang on to it, Laurie.
Big moment there we didn't capture for Eric Laurie, but they get gathered and are still running nose to tail. The top 6 have broken away just a little bit here. You see Charles Johnson, Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, Ryan Decker, Rick Sanchez, and Eric Laurie in this group. About a second back, we'll find this side-by-side battle as the 6 machine of Bud Steele continues to be pushed by the 83 of Jack Walls with Dean Wilkinson and Zachary Perry. If they stay organized enough, they should have enough to be able to get back to the pack ahead of them, as it looks like they are gaining some ground on them. You got to go another 1 second back to Ambrose Kniebel, currently by himself more or less, as he'll eventually probably be picked up by this pack back here, which is Jacob Lee, who's currently leading it. Corey Buskirk, Carl Engel, and Austin Call. Had to go back another second to Giovanni Ocapinti with Jim Brooks and Nick Wing in this group.
Whoa! You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm gonna have to give a call to Bud Steele and that 83 truck of Jack Walls. What a tremendous job! I mean, just them two pitting by themselves with that big group, and you had all that draft, and they were able to keep up with the main pack. That is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, that was great work for them to catch back up, and it looks like they're going to be able to bring Dean Wilkinson and Zachary Perry with them, as these guys are just pretty much holding on, hoping to stay on this lead pack here. And it looks like they will. Now we got 2 seconds back to the second group, now led by Ambrose Kniebel. A couple groups here have combined, and hopefully we'll be able to push enough to get back to the lead pack, but if not, they will have to settle for at least 10th or worse at the moment. Sorry, excuse me, 11th, as Ambrose is running right now. Yeah, that was definitely a lot of work for that duo of Bud Steele and Jack Wallace to get back to the front of the pack, but nothing has really happened since the green flag pit cycle and everybody rejoining. Charles Johnson was able to get around. Charles Johnson came out second, so yeah, that moment from Eric Laurie, which we couldn't capture with the cameras, Eric got loose and found himself back at the end of what was the lead pack at the time. So we got a couple lap cars here that we are going to pick up. Looks like that's Frank Ranger Jr., who we saw had that big moment spin out of pit road. And then Nathan Warner as well is going to go a lap down here.
I'm watching lap times, and that time by Jacob Lee and Ambrose Kniebel shaved down 0.6 of a second that last lap, and they are about to catch the draft of Zachary Perry back there.
Yeah, we'll look and see back here. This pack of about 4 cars has broken away. This pack was much larger at one point, but now you see Jacob Lee giving great pushes to the back of that 04 machine of Ambrose Kniebel. And as you mentioned, yeah, about 0.6 of a second the last lap. We'll see how the update this time by.
No, they got the draft. Wow, at least a full second now.
Now they're a whole second faster. So, yep, they're definitely catching up. They've got the air there. It helps that we've got looks like a couple of those lap cars, or no? I apologize, no lap cars there. Oh yeah,
no, there was lap cars. Yeah,
they're gone now. But yeah, Dean Wilkinson. That really helps when you've got Dean Wilkinson and the 76 of Zachary Perry trying to work too wide. That cuts such much a bigger hole in the air. So that was definitely beneficial for the 04 machine of Ambrose Kniebel to catch back up. But I mean, definitely some great pushes by Jacob Lee and Corey Buskirk and Carl Engel for those 4 to be able to get back up to this lead pack. So definitely a lot of good work for them, as Dean Wilkinson's still trying to make that outside lane work, but probably
nobody
the only
wants
one
to
to
go
try
with
it.
them.
Yeah, nobody really wants to try it.
Yeah, come on, Jacob, do it. Come on. Don't be a sport. Do it. Oh. Nobody wants to go with him. I'm really shocked, actually. Wow. All right, then. I think either that or Boomer, I think they could be fuel saving? Question mark?
Potentially some fuel saving. Curious to see. I think a lot of these guys are really just trying to get to the next pit cycle and see what they can do from there. As most drivers coming down on lap 19, a couple on lap 20, as we've highlighted, and pretty much that's going to lock us into 3 stops for the evening. Stopping twice would only get you just shy of 60 laps, so there'll be 3 more stops under green if we do stay green. So it'll be interesting to see. I think for the most part, drivers are just willing to kind of stay in line here and not cause any chaos and see what they can do to continue to click laps off, as we've had a pretty solid pace here so far, working on lap 28 already.
I'm just looking for the driver to make a move.
Yeah, we'll see. Do you think anybody's going to jump out of line, or are they just going to stay in line? It looks like for the most part, these guys are very content with pushing Charles Johnson and letting him use all of his fuel up at the front of this one.
Huh. That's well. If I was to pick somebody who's going to jump out of line, it's probably going to be Dean Wilkinson.
As
And
he keeps
nobody's,
trying, yeah.
yeah, yeah, he keeps trying. No one wants to go with him. Yeah, I think they're fuel saving. As I think Dean's like, someone go with me because I had enough. Come on.
Trying to make something happen on that high line, but of
Yeah,
course, I mean,
I'm
nobody
looking.
else wants to
Actually,
do anything.
yeah, look at the next pack. The 64 and the 51 catching up.
They came back from quite a ways back now because I think they were over 2
Yes.
seconds back.
Wow.
So the 64 and the 51 machine. And looks like they're gonna bring along Giovanni Occhipinti. And they'll
Yep,
pretty much
there they go.
Yeah.
Dean was looking for somebody to jump out of line, and two drivers have.
It looks like Gabe Butler and Kevin Freese up at the front have jumped to the high side. Trying to see what they can do to gain some momentum there. As through the middle, it's going to be Jacob Lee with the help of the 55 of Dean Wilkinson. And
Yeah,
Austin Call
push him. There we go.
coming to the front here.
Yeah, I told you Dean was kind of getting a little bit impatient there.
They're able to get all the way to the lead there as the 21 and the 55 get themselves clear ahead of the 9 machine of Charles Johnson. So they are going to be our new leaders, as it looks like Team Bootnaka is trying to
Going to
just
the back.
quietly drop back there.
Don't know why. I see no reason why. They were fine where they were at. I just don't understand the fuel save. Maybe they're just trying to get that one can only type deal.
As you see the 50.
Yep, I say that I'm watching the 55 and the 9. The teammates hooking up, leaving the 21 out to drive, but the 21 has Ryan Decker for a push, so Dean Wilkinson to the lead.
He's going to collect a bonus point there for that lap led, as I believe Jacob Lee got one that last time by. So now 2 teammates lined up at the front for TW Motorsports, Dean Wilkinson and Charles Johnson. Jacob Lee, Ryan Decker, and other TW Motorsports driver Rick Sanchez. 3 TW Motorsports drivers now in the top 5, as the Bootnaka Esports drivers drop to the back of this pack. Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, and Kevin Freese. They are now 15th, 16th, and 17th. And the last cars in the lead lap, we do have Jerry Osborne here in his own separate pack. Currently scored in 18th, but about 30 seconds off of the lead with William Jason Bogart and Nick Wing. These drivers are on the lead lap, but about a second a lap slower than the rest of the field, unfortunately, at the moment. There's just too much
Fuel
of a
saving
draft.
going on.
Yeah, well, there's too much of a draft here. There's too much power in the main draft. They cannot keep up with them, unfortunately. And then Frank Ranger Jr., Nathan Warner are 1 lap down, and Bob Fitzgerald is also in the lead pack, but he is 2 laps down.
I remember about 5 laps ago, I was watching Jim Brooks and the 64 of Austin Call, and they were like, what? Almost about a quarter of a straightaway back. Now look where Austin Call is running, 6th spot. That's just... The fuel saving has really helped those guys really catch back up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, still a tremendous effort for them to be able to push and get back to that pack. As you see, about 20 cars here with a couple lap cars mixed in. Single file down the backstretch. It's pretty much the main pack that you have, other than the pack that we saw of Jeremy Osborne, William Bogart, and Nick Wing. It's pretty much the only 2 packs that we have out on track as we near the halfway mark in this one.
I wonder if someone is going to pit off early, just to break all this fuel saving mumbo jumbo and kind of like go off on their own and like just like run some really hard laps and get away from the field. That would be something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see. I mean, obviously there's different groups of teammates here in the field, but I'd be curious to see who'd be able to work together in order to do that. Got a couple TW Motorsports drivers who are lined up nose to tail. I guess there's a couple. There are a couple Blind Squirrel racing teammates: Ambrose Knievel, Corey Buskirk, and Carl Lingle, who are all lined up nose to tail in this pack. Currently 10th, 11th, and 12th. And Bud Steele does have teammate Jack Walls with him, as well as Austin Call ahead of him. So there's actually a couple sets of teammates that are lined up nose to tail in this one. Obviously, we mentioned the Team Butnaka drivers moving to the back of the pack, trying to probably save a little bit of fuel and stay out of whatever chaos may come up. But lap 36 here. Pretty much the whole field except for 4 drivers pit on lap 19, so if that holds true, we would expect to see most of these drivers coming in on lap 38 just after the halfway mark.
I'm expecting these guys probably come in by about what? I think they're about 43, 42. That would be the ideal number where everybody wants to hit.
I don't know if they can get that far, though.
Ooh. They pitted, what, 19 or 20?
Yeah,
If I'm correct?
everyone pitted on 19 or 20. Yeah, I don't know if they'd have enough to go that far.
That would be the ideal, but if I was running the top 3, I'd probably dive off pit road early and just run as hard as I could.
Yeah, there's a couple laps to play with here. Obviously, if you run 19 laps, 4 stints of 19 laps, then you'll be at 76 laps. So there's a lap or two to play with. If you can save a lap, that is going to be a huge advantage, especially if we get into some of our namesake here, green, white, checkered.
Guess who's got that lap advantage?
We'll see.
Bud Steele and Jack Walls.
They do.
They got a lap on everybody. Yes, they do.
Yeah, Jim Brooks has a lap on everybody, as well as William Jason Bogart. Unfortunately, the 10 machine not able to stay with the lead pack, so he finds himself about 33 seconds now behind the lead pack. But Bud Steele, Jack Walls, and Jim Brooks do have 1 lap more of fuel than the rest of the field, so we'll have to wait and see. As we are on lap 38 here, and no takers this time by for fuel. They're going to try and stretch this one to at least 20 laps on this stint. Do you think Jack Walls and Bud Steele, the teammates there, are going to try and run 1 more lap than everybody else still, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. They did it once before. They're going to do it again.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it. They're gonna do it.
We'll see. If everybody else is going 1 more lap than they did last time, I wonder if they can go 2 more. Because that'd be a huge advantage, as we'll see in the way back in the pack. Nick Wing, Jeremy Osborne, and William Jason Bogart are going to take to pit road. That pack of 3 is we're going to see everybody diving down.
No, the 510 of Richard Sanchez stays out. Is that who is that? The 071 and 88 and the 25 are going to stay out too.
Yep. Yeah. So Rick Sanchez is going to be a sitting duck. Both of his teammates pulled off, and he stayed on the racetrack. Eric Lord, Gabe Butler, and Kevin Freese are going to try and see what they can do.
No, I wouldn't say Richard's a sitting duck. He still has...
Yeah, but he's by himself losing ground without a drafting partner at all right now.
Oh, he will have a drafting partner here in a couple of seconds.
He will, but all that time that he's lost, and they're going to freight train him. Yeah.
Oh, they actually pick him up.
They do actually pick him up. Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Great.
Okay.
That's incredible sportsmanship there from the Team Butnaka drivers. But the 510 lost all that ground because he was at the front of the pack, And the
Here they
071, the
come.
25, and the 88 were at the back of the pack, so a little bit of ground lost there for the 510, but he's going to have some drafting partners at least as they come down pit road this time by. We'll catch back up with our leaders here, or at least what were our leaders before the pit cycle. Charles Johnson, Dean Wilkinson, Jacob Lee, Ryan Decker, and Bud Steele come out of pit road. So Bud Steele and Jack Wells do not try to extend that one more lap. It was Gabe Butler, Kevin Freese, and Rick Sanchez who extended their time on the track. As the four of them get their service, we'll have to wait and see where they merge here. And we'll see if the fuel savings continues to play out. But there's a little bit of a gap here in our front pack.
Yeah, Charles Johnson just about to cross the start-finish line now. Yep. And Team Bootnocker are just coming out of pit road. Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of time here.
Well, if you remember, they were at the back of this pack anyway, so they didn't have a lot of the track position, I would think, to be able to jump back up in front of these guys. They should be able to jump back into the back of this pack as they were before. But we'll have to wait and see how they... Yeah, a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, I know. But look at 3 wide here.
Yep. Corey Busker kind of gets shuffled to the middle there. Giovanni Ocapinti and the 76 of Zachary Perry jump to the high side there as they sort out who's going to get in line first after the pit cycles. Jim Brooks there in the outside lane in that 51 machine. But it's going to be Charles Johnson continuing to lead this one, starting to cement his name as a driver to lead the most laps. Getting fairly close there, I would think. The 88 machine of Gabe Butler led a few, but I think Charles Johnson's starting to get pretty close to trying to take that extra bonus point for the most laps led. He's got a teammate, Dean Wilkinson, just behind him. Ryan Decker there in the 48 machine. He's working in the podium placings at the moment. Bud Steele and Jack Walls in your top 5. And it looks like 16 of our top drivers are going to be able to jump in line here. We've got Corey Buskirk in the 998.
Oh,
we got a little bit of a moment here. Giovanni Ocapinti there took a little bit of a spin, it looks like.
Did he save it?
He saved it. He's rolling, yeah. Let's see. We're going to rewind.
He's going to lose so much time,
though.
Yeah,
he is. We're going to rewind real quick here and see what happened. As we see... from the chase camera here, he gets up to Zachary Perry entering the corner. Gets a little low on the apron there.
Yeah, he lifted off the throttle, and
oh yeah,
I was sitting there trying to think, like, why was he lifting there, and it caused Eric Laurie to get in the back of Giovanni there, and a tough break for Giovanni. Hopefully, he needs a caution to catch back up because he's pretty far back, and it's going to be rough.
Yeah, we'll see where he is live now. You can see the pack just at him. He's actually going to come down pit road, it looks like. Maybe not. Just toying with it there. But, yeah, he is going to find himself about 7 seconds off the back of the pack right now. He will eventually be caught by this pack of 2 right here, Carl Lingle and Nathan Warner, as well as the 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. So these 3, Carl Lingle currently on the lead lap. He unfortunately lost the draft. He was in this tail end of this lead pack. Lost the draft there after that green flag pit cycle, but he has found 2 lap down cars.
Oh, look at Eric Laurie, all the way up 3 wide now.
He'll have to jump back to that lead pack here.
Well, nobody went with him. Ooh, a little bit of squeeze play there. They're getting awfully little close to each other.
Action starting to ramp up as we are within 30 laps to go in this one.
I think Eric found his buddy.
He's going to try and draft here with the 21 machine of Jacob Lee. No, he's not. Nope. He's going to get to the bottom lane. He's going to hang him up to right there a little bit there. So now this puts 15 cars in our lead pack draft. from Gabe Butler all the way back to Jacob Lee here as they settle in single file once again.
Yeah, Jacob, I feel your pain, brother. I really do.
Yeah. So we missed it there as we were cycling back through that moment there of the 000 of Giovanni Occhipinti, but looks like Gabe Butler, Kevin Freese, and the 510 of Rick Sanchez were able to get back to the front of this pack and are now your control cars. As we've actually got three, so we got two Team Bootnaka Esports drivers lined up nose to tail. We've got three TW Motorsports drivers now lined up nose to tail. Then we've got Ryan Decker, who is running for Roswell Motorsports with Bud Steele and Jack Walls and Austin Call, who are all teammates lined up nose to tail. Then we've got teammates Zachary Perry and Corey Buskirk. Excuse me, that is incorrect. They are not teammates, no. Zachary Perry in the 76 machine, followed by Corey Buskirk and Jim Brooks. Now Corey Buskirk has teammate Ambrose Knievel behind him.
Yeah.
With Jim Brooks and Eric Laurie and Jacob Lee in this front pack.
They're probably Corey's part of that blind squirrel.
Haven't had any action really to throw a yellow so far tonight, but want to plug our sponsor 4D Racewear that you see in the lower right corner of the screen. Using under caution, we'll play a little bit of a commercial for them. They've got a deal with us at Area 51 this season. Code Area 5115, that's Area 5115 at 4dracewear.com. Get 15% off of some sim racing apparel. I know I've got an old pair of sim racing gloves here that I'm looking to replace soon, so might have to use that 15% discount. They've got gloves and shoes and some more sim racing, not exclusive, but specific, sim racing specific apparel. So check out that wonderful sponsor as now we see the 998 of Corey Buskirk with teammate Ambrose Knievel. He's going to try and push his way to the front with some help of the 071 of Eric Laurie as well. Those three are lined up nose to tail, and I think Gabe Butler got that lap led that time by, but a lot of definitely a great push for those two Blind Squirrel Racing teammates on the high side to try and get to the front of this one.
You know, a blind squirrel does find a nut every now and then, right?
I was waiting for one of us to make that joke. I appreciate that you made it first.
But, well, I'm going to need to be blindfolded to beat these guys.
I think they'll have enough momentum to get to the stripe first this time by. We'll have to wait and see as they come onto the short chute. See if they have enough to grab a lap lead. Maybe not. Gabe Butler is going to continue to lead this one as we are now 2/3 of the way through this 75 lap tonight here at Talladega Superspeedway.
I was about to say they're starting to look a little bit more organized, but you look at, I'm looking at Gabe Butler and Kevin Freese. Look at their cars. Look how stationary their cars. Look at the 04 and 998. Look how we like weaving back and forth like that. Look at Kevin's car, like freaking still. That's the speed of those two guys. They're that good. No comment.
Yeah, they're definitely very organized and pushing very well in that inside lane so far. Interesting, they'll pull ahead just a little bit here. Kevin Freese still pushing that teammate of Gabe Butler there. Peeking the nose out just a little bit to get some clean air on that Chevrolet Silverado, and right back to pushing his teammate in that 88 machine. Great shot here down the backstretch as you see two lanes lined up pretty much all the way throughout this entire field here, about 10 rows deep.
I'm just waiting for something to happen. Something bound to happen here soon. Maybe these drivers are starting to get a little bit impatient to put themselves in position to win it, and that's what you have to do to win these races. And I haven't been able to do that. These guys are just that damn good. Oh, we got a spinner. But God, who was that back there? It
Spinner
looks like
way.
the 60. Looks like the 64 of
Austin Call.
Austin Call back there,
Yeah, let's see if we
and it
can
looked like
rewind.
Jason Bogart too.
Let's look if we see if we can rewind and see what happened there. Oh yeah, that was a big moment. See if we'll rewatch here. See what happened. See the 64 in the inside lane, the 10 in the outside lane. Still a lap car, and the 76 of Zach Perry. Looks like just a little bit of a push
Yeah,
to the
that
right
was.
side of that rear bumper that got him a little loose.
But good job of them guys by holding on to the vehicle. But unfortunately, they're going to lose the draft, and it's like I said with Giovanni. For those guys to catch back up, they're going to have a caution.
Austin Call was able to get right back up there pretty quickly, but at a definite speed disadvantage. So we'll jump live now, and there you can see there's quite a bit of a gap to where he is at. And William Jason Bogart even further back without any help, unfortunately. So Jason probably going to go 2 laps down now, as he was 1 lap down in the pack. So definitely unfortunate. He was just trying to ride around, trying to be the lucky dog, and unfortunately just a little bit of a bad push there, and gonna definitely put a probably a nail in the coffin for his night, unfortunately.
Yeah, right now, Jeremy, there's a fight between the lucky dogs between the 28 of Nico Swing and Jeremy Osborne. They are side by side, actually. It
Yeah,
looks Eric Lorry's going to the back.
Eric Murray's jumping in the back here.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh, we got a wreck.
There,
Yellow flag is out for the first time this evening.
and it looks like Nicholas Wing maybe get that. I think Nicholas Wing got the lucky dog on that one.
Yeah, I think so. So Zachary Perry was involved. Let's see if we can see at the moment of caution what happened. Not a lot of damage, but it looks like 2 cars going for the same spot. And the 76 machine is going to catch the nose of the 6 machine of Bud Steele.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for a slide, but I don't think there's really any damage. I mean, both of those cars look pretty clean.
Yeah, if I had to guess, the 76 thought he was clear, going down to the 6? Question mark? Or
Yeah.
just came down a little bit on the 6. Hopefully, there's no damage on either car though.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a damage in the door of the 76 machine, but I'm actually quite impressed. The nose of Bud Steele is quite clean there. So thankfully, even though we've got yellow flag action and that spin there, it looks like both of these drivers are going to come away okay. So I don't think either of them will really have to spend much time repairing that damage. But we will have an opportunity here for green flag pit stops, and who knows, this might be the last yellow, or might be the last pit stop for the race if they can stretch it far enough. There's 21 laps to go
Oh
here.
man, yeah, this is going to be another fuel stretch for these guys. Possibly, I probably will see a couple of cars come down pit road, top off before we go one to go here, or I might see a couple of cars just roll right through pit road. Yep, that's exactly what Gabe Butler just did.
Yeah,
I called it.
yeah, yeah. If you pit the first time, you can pit the second time without any penalties. But if you come down pit road the second time without pitting the first time, I believe there is I think it's a pass-through penalty, or not a pass-through penalty, but tail end of
It's
the
a
longest line penalty.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
changed it now. Now it's if it's under green now, iRacing has changed a whole bunch of rules now. I believe if it's under the green flag condition, if you get caught speeding on pit road, now it depends on the severity of it. It is a drive-through now, I believe so. Or no, I think it's a commitment line violation. It's a drive-through, and I think it's a 20 to 40-second hold if you excessive speeding.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It,
So
like
we'll
I
see.
said, I recently changed a bunch of things, but I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. Yeah, I was just highlighting that. It sounds like Gabe Butler. He still scored as the leader of this race. Rick Sanchez in the 510 machine. He's going to be in second. I would assume that we're going to see Gabe Butler coming down to get fuel. Looks like most drivers in the top 10 pretty much only took fuel. A couple taking right side tires, one taking four tires, and then everybody from 11th on back pretty much exclusively taking four tires and fuel. So a little bit of a mix of strategy there. If you've got the track position, you kind of want to keep it as much as you can, and tires really don't make that much of a difference here at Talladega. So if you can, it's easier to just take fuel only, as we'll see the 88 is going to come down this time by. And I'm assuming we're going to see a couple other drivers coming down again here.
Yep.
Yeah, as Rick Sanchez is going to come in.
No, Bob Fitzgerald.
Corey
God, who was that
Buskirk.
there? Nathan Warren, Richard Sanchez. Who else? I can't see. Corey Buckirk. Yep.
Yeah. So
Looks like the 48 to 071. Look, a lot of cars coming down.
yeah. So Charles Johnson is going to be our leader, and with that, Jeremy Osborne and William Jason Bogart are going to be able to wave around here, which definitely a bold strategy. It is they both last pitted on lap 38, and they are currently scored one lap down, but they are going to be catching up to the back of the pack and going to be on the lead lap, but they still need to make one more pit stop before the end of this race. And if nobody else in the field has to, they're likely going to be making that pit stop on their own, unless, which I'm assuming is what they're banking on, a caution comes out. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out for them. But for now, it's teammates Charles Johnson and Dean Wilkinson on the front row. Jack Walls, Ambrose Kniebel, Jim Brooks, Bud Steele, Carl Engel, Jacob Lee, Rick Sanchez, and Corey Buskirk, your top 10. And we'll have to wait and see how this first restart of the night goes, Matt. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, 4D Racewear.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Green flag is back in the air. Charles Johnson and Dean Wilkinson controlling the race from the front row here. We'll see how they settle this one out and sort it out. A little bit of a blink there from the 04 machine of Ambrose Canelo, but he continues on in that inside lane. A little bit of an advantage for Dean Wilkinson there down the back straightaway. Would expect him to maybe try and tuck in front of his teammate of Charles Johnson here, see if they can control this race, as the 510 is going to jump to the outside of Rick Sanchez. He's got some help from the 64.
Yes, he does.
Or the
Go
48
ahead.
of Ryan Decker. Yeah, he's going to try and get there. Now we've got TW Motorsports
Oh,
line
yeah, let's
3
go.
wide on the inside. 3 wide at the front of the pack. What a move. Great push from the 48
Hell
machine
yeah.
to get up to the front there. They're both going to get clear, I think, here, as the 510 is going to go from the top
No,
to
they're
the
not.
bottom.
No, they're not. Oh, Ryan, I know we got at least got a couple of Ryan Decker fans up in the YouTube chat. No, yep, he's going to get pushed by Kevin Freese.
So now he's going to continue to lead that outside lane there as TW Motorsports drivers Rick Sanchez and Dean Wilkinson will lead the middle lane, while the inside lane is being pushed by Charles Johnson, who sees the 04 of Ambrose Knievel dropping out of line, assuming for that internet connection there. So that's going to break up that inside line entirely. And that puts the 510 and the 55 on the middle lane there. And
I don't think they know. I don't think they know it that they're actually clear.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
And now they do.
Yeah, we got Caitlin Decker chiming in support of Ryan there.
I knew they're at. I heard her. Hi, Caitlin.
Leading the outside lane there at that number 48 machine.
Oh, they're going to put Jack Walls right in the middle.
So now we've got 3 TW Motorsports drivers lined up nose to tail. Check that. The 55 and the 9 are going to jump to the middle lane as the 510 is going to follow there.
Oh, 510, that is a bold move, but it worked. And looks like Ryan Decker is going to clear the 510 of Richard Sanchez, and it looks like, yep. Oh, buddy, that was really close.
Big move for the 48. He's going to go all the way from the top to the bottom.
Wow. Yep, and that is going to send the 88 and the 12. Look at the top lane. Look at the teammates. The 071, the 88, and the 25 running that top third lane. They are just rolling.
We got 3 teammates lined up in the outside lane, 3 in the middle lane, and we've got 2 lined up in the bottom lane. Is now Charles Johnson. The 9's going to jump down to try and control that inside lane as well. So that is the 510 of Rick Sanchez being pushed by the 55 of Dean Wilkinson. Rick not in the same voice chat as Charles Johnson or Dean Wilkinson, but still listed as a TW Motorsports driver, so he is in the middle lane there, getting a push from the 55 at the moment. The 25, the 88, and the 071 are coming back to the front of this pack when it matters with 15 laps to go here. Definitely action starting to ramp back up as they are still 3 in line for Team Bootnaka Esports in the outside lane, 3 in line for TW Motorsports in the middle lane, and 2 in line for Roswell Motorsports in the inside lane there, now with the 48 of Ryan Decker and the 6 of Bud Steele.
If I was Richard, I would probably choose the 48 to push, because right now, they were 4 wide momentarily.
Yeah, the lap car.
I told you it's ramped up, and we still got about 14 laps to go.
Pretty much since the restart, we've been at least double file, but most of the time has been 3 wide as the 25, the 88, and the 071 are losing a little bit of ground there in the outside lane. The 9, the 510, and the 55 still continuing to lead that middle lane with Ryan Decker and the 6 of Bud Steele controlling the inside lane at the moment. Charles Johnson still continuing to try and cement his name as the leader of the most laps to grab that bonus point for the championship. At this point, he's probably pretty close to wrapping that up with all the different leaders that we have had at different points in this one. But he's going to try and continue to control this one here all the way through to the finish, as we have 13 laps to go as we head down the backstretch here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Oh, it looks like the 510 has jumped to the outside and gets a big shove by Kevin Freeze on the outside lane.
You think that's a strategy to try and hold them up and try and keep them from getting around them?
No, you got to have the best pusher in iRacing, and that's Kevin. And would you have him pushing you? Yeah.
The 9 and the 55 are going to jump to the bottom lane now. Jack Walls is going to have enough room to get ahead of his teammates in the 80, or the 83 is going to have teammates in the 48 and the 6 there in the inside lane, as we are going to now settle back into 2 wide action there. The 510 of Rick Sanchez jumping up to the outside there.
You know what? I might predict 25, 88, 07 might jump to the top lane and leave Rick Sanchez out to dry.
Yeah, we'll see.
If I just kind of predict it as I see it.
Yeah, I'm honestly not really sure. I know Rick Sanchez, when there's no other drivers or none of his teammates in the race, he will run with Team
right now. He is
Bootnaka.
clear. Yep, and they are now the 88 is
Yeah.
free and clear to push to 25. And you might see a lead changer. Yep, there it is.
25 is going to jump to the bottom. But I was saying the 510 has run with both TW Motorsports and Team Bootnaka at different times in past seasons.
Yes.
So we'll have to see where his allegiance lies in this one. But now it's Team Bootnaka controlling the inside and the middle lane at the moment. The 88 being pushed by the 071 and the 25 there in the bottom lane. They're going to try and see what they can do to control this one with 11 laps to go here. Ambrose Kniebel, their third car in the line in the outside lane, as the 55 machine is going to jump to the outside ahead of the 64 of Austin Call. Bit of a squeeze there, but he makes it happen.
That was a close call. And nope,
64
he's
going to try it. Yeah.
3 wide. Yep. He looks like he. Nope, he thinks otherwise. That's a smart move there, Austin. Now they got my Monday night teammate, Rick Sanchez, hitting on that bottom lane.
Three wide once again here.
Yep. Remember my dark horse pick? He's on the third lane.
He is.
Yep, Rick Sanchez. I was expecting Rick Sanchez to go to the top there, and he's going to get a shove by Eric Laurie there.
Yep, the 88 machine, the 25 machine settled in the inside lane, taking control of this race with 9 laps to go. The 510 leading the middle lane, being pushed by the 071 of Eric Laurie. In the outside lane, you've got teammates, the 9 of Charles Johnson being pushed by the 55 of Dean Wilkinson, as they are trying to make it work all the way around the outside there. The middle is going to be blocked by the 88 machine of Gabe Butler here. And we've got Team Bootnaka drivers in the inside and middle lanes now.
Wow.
As the 510 then jumps up in front of the 9.
He's going to go right in front of the 88, and that is a tremendous move.
He's going to try and block all 3 lanes if he possibly can here. The 510 of Rick Sanchez, absolutely.
And that third lane is...
yeah.
Oh! Yep. That was a nice move there. Well, you got to go back to the top there, bud. Woo! That top lane is moving now.
Yeah, the 9 and the 55 have a bunch of momentum here. We'll see how well they fare on the backstretch. The 88 currently the lone car in the front row. The 25 machine pushing him on the inside lane. But we'll see down this back straightaway how much momentum the 9 and the 55 have all the way around the outside. The 510, the 071 in the middle lane at the moment. We've got 8 laps to go, and the intensity is going to continue to ramp up for the next 8 laps.
Can they hold it for 8 laps?
I am impressed to see how much great racing we have at the front of this one with less than 10 laps to go.
Yes, sir.
It's gotten close. The 510 had a moment there in front of the 88, was just barely clear and got down in front of him, then chose to jump back up into the middle lane last time by, but we'll see. Gabe Butler is going to lead that lap there. We have 7 laps to go as we cross the stripe here. One thing to remember about Talladega is that the start-finish line is not in the same place at Daytona. The winning move that would win you the race at Daytona is not the same move that will get you there at Talladega. You have to be ahead at the stripe, which is in the short chute between the tri-oval and turns number 1 and 2. So have to be cognizant of that and time your runs perfectly to see if you can be the one to cross the start-finish line first, as we've got about 15, 16 cars here on the lead lap in this main pack that are going to try to do that here tonight.
I'm expected to watch the 48 jump to the outside and Charles Johnson to give that big 48 a big push. And how much you want to bet on that deal, maybe?
We'll have to wait and see. As of right now, he's clear, but in a moment he may not be. The 9 and the 55.
Four wide. Y'all clear. Wow. These guys are... I'm impressed with these guys tonight. It's just been tremendous racing.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys have been holding it. Even if they wreck about, I'm not. You know what? Commentators curse. Shut up, Matt.
We'll wait and see. Definitely getting a little more antsy as the 88's going to jump up and block the middle lane this time now. Going to get a push from the 510 of Rick Sanchez. The 25 machine is going to control the inside lane. He's got a push from Jack Walls in the inside, and Ambrose Kniebel, their third car in the inside lane. It's Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, and Eric Laurie in the middle lane. In the outside lane, who's making more progress now, is the 9 of Charles Johnson and the 55 of Dean Wilkinson.
He's going to need a third car.
Ooh, a little bit of a moment there. 510 gets up.
It's good. We're good. We're still good.
We're still good. We're still rolling. Gets a little loose. Maybe a little bit of a door to the 9 machine or the 55 there. We're still rolling. Still green. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dean needs somebody behind him to make that high line work.
He's got the 000 machine of Giovanni Occhipinti, who, thankfully with that last caution, was able to catch up to this lead pack here. As they're fading back just a little bit. Now we see Jack Walls actually the leader of the inside lane. The 25 machine of Kevin Freese is going to jump up.
Where did he come from?
He was just behind the 25 machine, and the 25 machine jumps up.
The 510, yep.
510 jumps up in front of the 9 and the 55.
I am just... Wow. These guys are just throwing blows back and forth. I don't...
Oh, the spinner!
Did he save it? He saved
Ambrose
it.
Kniebel's going to save it.
Oh, Ambrose.
And unfortunately,
yeah,
without a yellow, that's going to do it for him tonight. But we are still green flag. 4 to go. As the middle lane now drops to the bottom. That's 3 Team Bootnaki Esports drivers. We got a wreck. Yellow. The 30 car of Carl Lingle is going to go around. Second yellow of the night is out.
Wow, that was a push gone wrong.
We will see how it looked on the replay here in just a moment. See if we can see how it happens. Oh, you see there, yep, the 30 machine, the 998, just kind of on the very edge of the bumper there, gets a shove, and that's gonna get a lot of damage there for the 41 and the 64 machine. And it looks like the 17, I believe, Frank Ranger Jr. there. Yeah, Frank Ranger Jr. there piling in a little late. And thankfully for Carl Lingle, I think most of the damage is going to be pretty repairable, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see if we can get...
Zach Perry is got a meatball.
Yeah. We're going to rewind this back here just a little bit, give us some more time to grab a different camera view. As we're going to see here the 30 machine, the Sharpie machine. Coming through turn 3. It's really tough to push in the middle of the corner. He checks up, the 998 doesn't. And lifts the back end off the ground, and around he goes.
Man. That was pretty intense there, Boomer.
Yeah, that was some incredible racing there that we saw. Zachary Perry also went around for a spin. Loses the front bumper there. That's the one you said had the meatball flag, right, Matt?
Yes,
Zachary
yes,
Perry.
sir.
Yeah, so he must have had a big impact on the front there. You can see the smoke. Not sure if that's from the engine or the tires at that point. It looks like it's definitely from the engine.
Oh,
maybe not. But...
we have a situation.
Yeah, we'll have to jump back live. We got a couple cars coming down pit road for pit stops, it looks like.
That is the smartest move. I like that move.
So,
I commend them guys.
Yeah.
We are now in overtime. Now, if these guys have another yellow flag, we will repeat it again. But we are close on fuel. Wouldn't you think? As hard they pushed it for the past 15, 16 laps, am I correct?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'd be curious because I think a lot of, the 3 cars in the front were kind of almost always changing hands, so we'll have to wait and see. I think they'd be okay for at least one green-white checkered, but obviously Nick Wing, Giovanni Occhipinti, Austin Call there, Frank Ranger Jr., and Zachary Perry all pitting there for, I would assume, damage from that last wreck. But we'll see. They've definitely got more of a cushion as Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, who are your current podium drivers at the moment, last pit on lap 56. So I would think that they would be okay to the end. That's still Was 19 laps to the end by the time they last pit, and we've been getting about 19 laps on a pit cycle. So I don't know.
That's really
It
close.
is going to be very close.
Like I said, yeah,
Yeah,
I like these guys who pit it and take that gamble.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely on it.
Have to wait and see how it plays out.
Oh, by the way, what was that Lucky Bob recipient of that one? I can't remember who that was.
I am not sure.
I have to go back on replay.
Might not have been.
I think it was Jason Bogart. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason Bogart did receive the free pass there, and he will get his lap back.
All right, so he'll get 1 lap back, I believe, because he was 3 down at the time. With most of our lap cars, Zachary Perry, Frank Rager Jr., and Jeremy Osborne being involved in the crash, the lucky dog will go to the 10 machine of William Jason Bogart. And before we get back around to the restart here, we're going to take another quick commercial break.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Pace Truck is going to dive into pit road here. It is going to be Gabe Butler and Kevin Freese on the front row as they are going to make their way up through the H-pattern 4-speed gearboxes of these trucks and get back to green flag action. Kevin Freese with a good run. He is going to be pushed by the 510 of Rick Sanchez and the 071 of Eric Laurie. In the outside lane at the moment, it is the 88 of Gabe Butler, the 9 of Charles Johnson, and the 55 of Dean Wilkinson. As the 25 is going to jump to the high side to regain position with his teammate. And the 9 and the 55 are going to jump to the third lane.
Here we go again.
We are 3 wide already down on the backstretch with 2 laps to go here on Green White Checkered TV for our first attempt at a Green White Checkered here tonight. If we get back to the start-finish line, we will receive the white flag, and the next flag will be checkered regardless of any caution action.
Oh, man. I'm just curious what's going to happen here. Are we going to get to the white flag here? That's the question.
It looks like we will get to the white flag.
We're going to do it. Yep.
One time by. If there are any wrecks, no yellows will be thrown. This will be the end of this one. Rick Sanchez currently being pushed by the 25 and the 88 machine. Eric Laurie, the 071 on the inside, getting the push from the 48 of Ryan Decker. 510 is going to jump to the bottom and see if he can get a push from the 071. That leaves the 25 free in the middle lane with 88 pushing him. Jack Wallace behind there in the middle lane.
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done there. Maybe that's the winning move, but we'll find out here. Gabe is all over the back bumper of Kevin Freese now, trying to get that big, huge push, but that top lane, no, he's going to go jump to the high side. It looks like Rick Sanchez is going to get a push from the 48. No, we're going to go 4 wide, 5 wide. Can they hold it? No, they're not. Oh, Kevin Freese with the win. Congratulations to Kevin there. Wow, they were 5 wide.
And it was the great push from the 88 machine of Gabe Butler to get Kevin free. Really surprised by the move there by the 510 to jump out to the bottom there, but that left Kevin Freeze clear, and he is going to be our first repeat winner of the season. He is going to go back-to-back in this one after winning last week at iRacing Superspeedway. Going to be the first repeat winner of the season. Gabe Butler pushing him to the win. Jack Walls with a great night all night long is going to come home in P3. And we will have interviews for those drivers in just a moment. That was a lot of action there at the end of that one.
That was a really good decision. And it looked like Rick Sanchez was going to make that follow him up there, but Gabe Butler was able to stay attached to the 25 and did not allow the 510 to have that advantage. But that's a great win by Kevin. Like you said, that is our first repeat winner of the season.
Yeah, we got dueling burnouts here from the 25 and the 88 machines. Teammates going 1-2 in the evening.
I wish I was out there doing donuts. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, we've got a few interviews to do, so why don't we bring those guys up, the first of which being the 83 of Jack Walls.
Jack Walls. Let's see if I can find you.
I got him here. Jack Walls, we got you in the broadcast booth here. Coming home P3 on the evening after a very eventful, I guess a lot of green flag action and then a lot of eventful cautions at the end there. Able to come home P3. On that final restart, take us through how you got there tonight.
I guess I got up towards the front just by luck, staying out of trouble. Lucky to lead a couple laps there, 1 or 2 laps, I think, throughout the race. So that was luck too. Everything here racing is luck. It's just staying out of trouble, hoping that you don't get hit by anybody.
Yeah, we saw you during that first green flag cycle. Looked like you're working with your teammate Bud Steele there. You guys were able to kind of work together, stay out and pit 1 lap longer than the rest of the field, and still maintain that position with the lead pack. Seems like you were able to work with some of your teammates at different times pretty well throughout the night there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We were working together, Austin, Ryan, Bud, myself, and Jim, trying to stay together as much as we could. Did get broken up there a little bit towards the end, but then, you just have to stay in the position that's going to work for you, too, at the end, unless they're around.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing we saw tonight, we didn't see a lot of cautions. We saw a couple, obviously we saw the 2 green flag pit cycles and then the final pit stop coming under yellow there. Were you kind of surprised by that, just seeing that there really wasn't too much chaos? I mean, we had a lot of really great side-by-side racing, but not a lot of cautions tonight. Was that something that you were kind of expecting?
No, I was expecting more cautions, to be honest with you. The first part of the race was kind of boring, just us staying in single file there for quite a while, it seemed. And, I guess we were, it was good that with the pit stops, we didn't have any cautions with the pit stops, and I was expecting something like that to happen with as many that were pitting at the same time. But, the strategy worked out, us staying together as much as we could, the Roswell guys, and I just happened to be in the right place there the last restart, and I was able to stay behind Gabe and I think Kevin up front, and I figured, they would stay together, and that was my best shot.
Yeah, I think you lined up, 6th or 8th maybe on that final restart, so definitely pick the right lane or pick the right times to move, and had some good moves there at the end to finish 3rd.
Yeah, when it comes to those late restarts, I try not to be changing lanes, or I just try to stay in my lane and finish where I'm going to finish. That seems to work out best for me. When you try to change lanes there towards the end, you usually get caught up in a wreck or you cause a wreck.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes just holding a pretty wheel is, there's something definitely to say for that. But I want to say congratulations to you. Obviously, you've got one win on the season. You got another top three tonight. Good season going for you so far. I want to roll out the red carpet for any thanks or shout outs for the third place you've had tonight.
Yeah, just thanks to my teammates with the Roswell group, and thanks to the league for hosting these races, and thanks to you guys for doing a fantastic broadcast job. I always watch the race after I'm done.
Definitely appreciate that, Jack, and wish you the best of luck going through the season, and hope to hear you in another interview soon.
Yeah, I'm having knee surgery on Tuesday, so I don't know how much racing I want to get over the next couple of weeks. But if I'm lucky, I'll be back next Sunday. We'll see.
Ah, okay, yeah, didn't know. Well, best of luck. Hope that all goes well, and hope to see you back on track soon. Definitely got some good points to maybe make a push into the playoffs if you can get back soon enough. But if not, wish you the best, and hopefully speedy recovery for you, Jack.
Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Yeah, thanks. All right, next will be the 88 machine of Gabe Butler, and we'll bring him up. Talked to him just this past Thursday for a job well done in the Thursday series and another job well done tonight in the Sunday series in these trucks. Finding your way towards the front in pretty much any vehicle we have here at Area 51, Gabe. Congratulations on that second place finish. Take us through the night and how you ended up here.
The majority of the race was a little bit boring, single file. I mean, I think people were working on fuel and whatever, but after that last pit stop, it got really exciting, and we were just kind of biding our time, as they say, and waiting for an opportunity to go forward and try and get to the front. And it was right there at the end. We happened to catch a break and got a good run, and ended up getting 1, 2, and I think I finished 4th.
Yeah, definitely a solid team night for sure. There was not as much action as we kind of thought that there might be, and we saw you guys drop to the back altogether. I think it was just before the first green flag pit cycle. Was that an effort to try and stay out of the chaos that you thought was coming? Obviously, there really weren't many yellows, so nothing really came to. But I assume that was kind of the plan to try and avoid any chaos that might happen.
I mean, that was part of it, but the other part was if we're going to ride single file, might as well get all the way to the back and really save fuel. So we were able to go an extra lap there on the last pit stop, so we had less fuel to take, and so it worked out for us in the end. Really good job.
Yeah, were you kind of hoping for a little more parity as far as the green flag pit cycles? Because it seemed like almost just about every car was able to stay with the lead pack and catch back up to it. But with that extra lap, were you guys trying to see what you could do to maybe get out far enough ahead, or have break up the front pack a little bit more than it was?
Yeah, but even with the extra, lap taken into account, it's just hard in these trucks compared to the old draft model. The old draft model, you could really break away from the pack, but this particular model, somebody really has to mess up their pit stop in order not to be able to stay with the lead pack. So it's just the way it is. But I mean, if anything, good pit stop will at least get you a good track position. So.
Yeah, definitely. You guys seem to have quite a bit of that when it counted, and we saw a couple moves made during the final green white checkered there. Do you have we want to talk us through that game plan of how you guys executed there to get to the front and kind of hold that lead that you guys had after starting side by side with you and Kevin?
Yeah, we were just trying to make sure that we would be at least nose to tail, if two of us, if not three of us, and then just I think Eric got caught at the bottom there, and Kevin came up to the middle, which worked out perfectly because he knew I was going to get split, and so I was behind him all the way, and then I think Rick came up in front of him, so I was kind of surprised Rick didn't stay on the bottom because he had to have known we were going to split him. We were just keeping an eye on that third lane to see if that was catch back up to us, and it never really materialized. So when Rick came up, and then Kevin waited basically till the last second just to get up there, and we were able to push on by, and we had just a massive run. He really didn't have any help. Rick didn't until the last second, so that's the way it worked out for us.
Yeah, definitely good team strategy at the end there to get the 1-2 finish, and 1-2-4 if you count Eric Laurie in there as well. I want to give you a chance to roll out that red carpet. Are there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for that second place finish tonight, Gabe?
Yeah, just a huge shout out to Kevin and Eric, man. It's always a blast running with these guys, and it's fun strategizing and when we need to. And of course, you guys up in the booth, Boomer and Matt, and of course, I guess Gael is not feeling too well tonight, so hopefully he gets to feel better. And of course, Area 51 in general and all the admins, man. It's a blast, fun, clean racing as usual.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great racing that we saw there, three-weight action for quite a while, and tell you what, it's a lot of fun to watch. But congratulations once again, Gabe, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, fellas, I appreciate it.
All right, we've got one more, and that will be our race winner, Kevin Freese, in that number 25 machine. Was the third winner of the season, and also now the first repeat winner. So winning races 3 and 4 back to back. Kevin, take us through how you got to that win tonight and how it felt.
It was a great race out there tonight. Got to thank Gabe for that one. He stuck with me when we went to the third lane. Well, we went to the middle first, and then made that move out of 4, and Gabe stayed right on my bumper. I was hoping Eric would get that P3, but he came up just short.
Yeah, it was definitely a good team effort still to finish 3 cars in the top 4. Pretty solid there. We saw in that last final restart, the 510 of Rick Sanchez was able to get ahead of you and kind of stall you out just a little bit there, and then he moved back and moved away and kind of gave you the lane to move forward. Were you kind of expecting to see that, or were you expecting that he was going to try and block you for the rest of it?
I thought that, well, the run out of 4, I don't know if he could have blocked that, because I think with the angle and how late I waited making that move, it would have ended poorly for everyone involved. But the restart, we were just trying to push as hard as we could. The bottom lane just got rolling, I think, a little bit better when he cleared. Right? I believe that's what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so.
It's like a blur. Yeah. And then I thought that he would stay middle. But then the bottom lane had a little bit of a run back there. So he covered it off, which surprised me a tiny bit. But then Gabe and I were able to get hooked back up on the backstretch and get that big run rolling. It's just hard to know what that outside lane's going to do, because if that third lane's around, that top lane can just randomly absolutely stall out. And you just pray that you're not the winner of that lucky draw, because you could see just the side draft when you end up alone. It pulls the pushing car off you first, and then you're just hoping that third car in line can get back to you. But it was a really fun race out there tonight. It was shaping up to be a really crazy finish, I think, right before that caution happened as well. That was what I was looking forward to, and I'm like, oh man. And then we were in a better fuel spot, because if that went to another green white checker, that would have been very interesting with who would stay out and if they could actually make it. It was an interesting race all around tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting for sure. We saw you guys kind of drop back at one point, trying to. I know we talked about this with Gabe a little bit, but it seemed like you guys were kind of trying to drop back a little bit and avoid some of the chaos that really never seemed to come to fruition. And until the end, there it was pretty clean.
Yeah, we were also trying to just squeeze that one little extra lap out, because it was basically going to be a full tank stop. So we were just trying to save as much as we could, and then the pack was going slow enough that we were able to save even more than we thought we would. So that allowed us to shorten our pit stop at the end just a tiny bit more. Eric was in a way better fuel spot coming into that final pit stop.
Yeah, definitely. Saw. I mean, there really was. It seemed like there was most of the strategy was just one person. Some were pitting one lap later than the others, but obviously you guys
Uh-huh.
able to pit
Yeah.
later in that second cycle, but ended up not really mattering, and it really didn't matter at the end there when that first caution came out for the last pit cycle. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was a lot of fun there. Or at least it looked like a lot of fun as a lot of that three wide action came through and was. I mean, especially for the broadcast, was a lot of fun to watch at the end.
3
Oh
wide.
yeah, I'm
Three
sure.
wide.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot more fun once everybody stopped running single file. I'm like, all race. I'm like, man, we need to. Like, I turned on Spotify. I'm like, come on, we need something fun here. And then the one time I turned it on, Ambrose and his team came on the outside, and I wasn't even expecting it. I'm clicking around on my screen, and then I'm like, oh, the second line's here. That was a welcome surprise.
Yeah. But I do apologize, Matt. It was definitely 5 wide action at the start finish line there at the end.
Yes, sir. I posted it in the nice little chat room we have. So
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't notice it. Like, I had no idea Ryan went to the outside, ended up first in the middle lane, and then to the outside of Rick, and I was like, oh, that's why Rick fell back like a rock, and Eric's line fell apart a bit. Now it all makes sense because I was just looking at Rick to reference when Gabe and I could move back down, but then yeah, I had no idea that Ryan was there. It was a good move by him. I was really surprised when I saw that it opened up when I watched the replay.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff going on behind you guys towards the end there, but obviously Gabe pretty much glued to your bumper, and you guys are able to bring home that 1-2 finish. So I'd like to roll out that red carpet now for you and give you opportunity for any thanks or shout-outs for the second win of the season tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks to you and Matt for putting on the broadcast for us tonight. Hope to see Gail either back out on track or in the broadcast booth next week. Thanks to the boys in Team Bootnaga, Eric and Gabe tonight, and thanks to all the drivers for putting on a great race tonight.
Thank you as well, Kevin, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Hope you guys have a great night.
Yeah, you as well, buddy. Well, that will do it here for this one tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Kevin Freese coming home victorious. And we'll go through the rest of our race results here. As we talked to our podium already, Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Jack Walls. Eric Laurie able to come home in that 071 in the 4th position as well. After a solid night, Charles Johnson still grabs a top 5. Bud Steele grabbing 6th place. Rick Sanchez in that 510 machine is going to be in 7th with Dean Wilkinson behind him. Ryan Decker made some good moves there towards the end, but come home in the 9th position. Jacob Lee will round out the top 10 for the evening. For Blind Squirrel Racing, Corey Buskirk and Ambrose Kniebel came home 11th and 12th respectively. Jim Brooks in the 51 Ford F-150 will come home 13th with Carl Lingle and Giovanni Occhipinti there in the top 15. Giovanni able to recover after that spin there that he had and stay on the lead lap for the finish of the race, as well as Austin Call and Nick Wing getting a lap back there at one point. He's going to finish 17th, the last car on the lead lap. Frank Ranger Jr. there caught up in the last caution there that we saw and had a bit of a moment on pit road, a big spin there to put himself a lap or two down, but he's going to come home in the 18th position. And the last of our entries for tonight, Jeremy Osborne, first car 2 laps down with William Jason Bogart in the 10 machine. He's going to finish 20th. Bob Fitzgerald 3 laps down, 21st. Zachary Perry 5 laps down in 22nd. And Nathan Warner in 23rd to round out the field for the evening. Definitely was pretty quiet at the start, but Matt, we had quite a bit of chaos to finish it out, and was exciting to see all the way to the end.
Yeah, it just to be really honest with you, it was. I hate fuel saving races, I really do. But when that caution came out, I said, watch up. These guys, these guys are going to ramp it up, and it never failed. These guys put on a hell of a show. To the guys who had bad luck, don't worry. There's always next week. I know I hear that every week as a driver, but the good finishes are coming. I promise.
Definitely a lot of different storylines throughout the field tonight. Was excited to follow all of them and see how it played out. Another good race here on the Sunday SuperTruck Series. We'll be back in 1 week, starting again at Atlanta Motor Speedway, continuing that Atlanta, Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, and Talladega gambit on the schedule, but it'll be the second time we go back to Atlanta next week, followed by Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, and Talladega over the next 4 weeks, and that will take us into November and then into our playoffs for our drivers. We'll have a couple more races here. There's only halfway through the regular season, so there's still time to accrue points and get into the playoffs there and try to compete for the championship here on Sunday nights. Don't forget, we've got action on Thursday nights as well. I'll be there in the booth calling the action for that series as we run the Xfinity cars on Thursday nights, and we will have our next race this Thursday at Talladega. So that same Atlanta, Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, and Talladega rotation throughout the schedule. So we'll make our stop there at Talladega this week and have a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll be continuing each Thursday and Sunday nights to broadcast the action on our Super Speedway series, and definitely have a lot of fun with it, and appreciate everybody who joins the chat, watches the race. I know a lot of our drivers watch the race back as well, so appreciate that support as always. And quick note just again to want to wish Gael Brooks, hope he's feeling a little bit better there, and hope to see him back in the booth again soon. And obviously, we talked to Jack Walls. He's got that knee surgery coming up, so hopefully a speedy recovery for him as well. So,
yeah.
Hope to see him back in the car and hanging out with us again soon. But yeah, Matt, any closing thoughts before we sign this one off?
Before we sign off, don't forget about our Tuesday non-broadcasted series, the IR18 Open Wheel Series we run here at Area 51, and this week we're running at Montreal. If y'all interested, hit me up on iRacing. You can reach me directly. My name is Matt Wagner. Feel free. Other than that, the race tonight, excellent. A+. I couldn't enjoy it any better. It was a fantastic race.
Yeah, a little bit of a fuel-saving race, but the end and the excitement made up for it for sure. Also, don't forget to make sure you check out our sponsor, 4D Racewear, 4dracewear.com, as you see on the screen there. And there is a discount code AREA5115, so AREA5115, AREA5115 for 15% off on your sim racing apparel from 4dracewear.com. I think that'll pretty much do it for myself, Boomer Logan, and my buddy Matt Wagner up here in the booth. We'll be signing off, but we wish you a safe week, and we can't wait to see you next time.